Hey viewers! Welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. And this time we're watching Taric battle it out with his team against a fairly good enemy team, I would say. Well, this team, so the top team, only has Taric as the tanky character, and he's not even a real tank. He only has a stun and a heal, so he's more of a support character. But we can see that they do have a lot of damage, so that's good, I guess. But the enemy team does have a very good, well, interference tank, I would say. He's not really a tank, he's more of a tanky character. And yeah, Singed is really annoying to deal with. And then they have a lot of damage with Master Yi and Annie, so Annie, of course, just like Vigar, a lot of instant damage, so once you get caught, they immediately kill you. And yeah, I really got a lot of damage over time, as well as Singed, of course, damage over time, and then Master Yi is also damage over time. So both of the teams have junglers, that's because this is around 1600 ELO. So it's a lot higher than we normally see. Normally we see around 1200, and we will probably see some better play out of these players because they are all trying to at least not get killed in stupid ways, whereas in the 1200 ELO you normally see that people just, yeah, they are trying to get as many kills as they can. So hopefully Taric will be a good sport here, but we will have to see. I'm going to lock the camera and explain a little bit about his skills. So we have Imbue, which is basically the heal, and the heal is really dependent on ability power. As you can see, he has 32 ability power and the heal says plus 35, so you get a lot of heal going with AP. Then we have a 0.5 ability power ratio on hang on, yeah, oh damn, it's just there, the Shatter. I was trying to remember the name, but it's really there. So Annie comes in and oh wow, that's a lot of damage. Oh wow. Oh, so they anticipated that Annie would be helping out with blue, and then she had two ways to come back, one of which was through the river, which is never the good way to run. The second way, of course, would be through this little gap here, so here, and that would have been a lot better, especially if you cannot see your opponents. But even if you can see them, if you now come in here, then Ash is still going to at least hit you with a volley, and probably with one or two auto attacks. So all in all, not a good plan. Then the third ability of Taric is Dazzle, and it's actually the stun we see here. It does a lot of damage, and we see it's also it's plus 34 now, so that's exactly the ability power, meaning that that's a 1-to-1 ratio, and that's a lot of damage. And then his ultimate gives him healing and attack damage and all kinds of nice things. So almost dying here, hopefully he will survive. And there you see Singed doing a lot of damage, but yeah, Singed cannot really work against two of these champions. But he is staying alive a very, very long time. And we're already up to 3 kills in this bottom lane. Taric having a little bit of trouble here, staying alive or keeping them both alive. Not staying alive, because he's actually still alive. And he's now up to level 3. He has all 3 of his skills, and they both decide to fall back, which is really wise because the enemy does have a jungler, And I of course am experiencing a little bit of lag, but that has been kind of the standard in these games. And I really don't understand why. Because some of the games it's alright, but most of the games have these lag spikes, and then all of a sudden I run at 15 frames per second or 10 frames per second instead of the normal 30. So in mid lane we have some trouble for the Brand, but he seems to be able to get out. Yep. And Vigar almost getting killed by Brand, but we'll join the bottom lane for now because we can actually see what's going on. So Ashe seems to be a little bit behind. I don't know what she did in the meantime, but because they both went home. So Ashe bought some lifesteal, which is pretty useful early on. I personally like to go for the Doran's Blades to get a little more HP, and then go for one big item like an Infinity Edge, instead of going for the smaller items like the one we're seeing now. Because early on they really don't do that much because your attack damage isn't that high, and early on is especially when you need it. So another stun going off. Annie also stunning someone, but yeah, stunning Taric really doesn't do too much. I mean, Taric has no damage compared to the other two. So it might have been better to just try to run back out and stun everyone who was chasing I forgot, Singed. But an excellent work on their part. Actually getting the stun off and getting the gank off. Anyway, Taric is going for Doran's Rings. So he has 2 Doran's Rings, and well, that adds everything you can want in a support character like Taric. So it adds AP, it adds mana regen, and it adds health. And all in all, it makes him a lot better character early on. And as usual with support characters, he's not going for the last hits too much. He's trying to give them to Ashe, but Ashe is only up to 20 and hasn't been able to get all of the last hits apparently. But they have been really aggressive on the enemy, so that might be why he's actually not doing too well. Or, well, she, because Ashe is just she. The enemy team, well, we see a lot of boots on, well, Vigar and Master Yi. Yeah, Master Yi, I can see why, because Master Yi is of course a ganker in this game. And then we see only Mana Crystal on Annie, so she hasn't gone back yet, and we see the first signs of a catalyst on the Singed. And Irelia still only cloth armor and healing potions, so she hasn't gone back either. But she gets killed now, so guess now she can buy some things. Yeah, the only one with really insanely high minion scores are Irelia and Xin. And yeah, they're both in the top lane, so they have been farming all game. There haven't been any ganks yet, probably. Maybe Irelia just died to a gank, but it's not the same as it would be in the mid lane. So excellent 2 stuns in a row, and yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. So Brand is up to the turret here, and I don't know how he didn't get stunned there. It seems it would hit, but okay. Master Yi being very aggressive here, running into the turret, taking 2 turret shots. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't expect them to become aggressive that early again. But they get a kill in this bush apparently. So getting off the shatter. The shatter does a lot of damage, by the way. It's 250 plus half your AP. Yeah. So all in all, that's a lot of damage for an AoE skill. And combining that with the damage that Ashe does and the damage that the Shatter does, the Dazzle does, combining that is, yeah, resulting in quite a lot of damage for a support character. And going AP means that he can heal a lot, even though he's going to get a little bit more damage, or take a little bit more damage, because he doesn't have armor items. It's still an insanely good build if you can stay away from the damage a little bit. Because as we can see, 3 Doran's rings now. Probably going to build well, something good now, something yeah, really expensive. And because he has so much mana regen, he can actually afford to waste some of his skills on the minions. Or waste, it's more use, I guess. But he is staying in front of the Ashe. He's it's only a detail, but if one of the opponents wants to try something, they have to go through him. So he's kind of the scout for Ashe. And they are going to the mid now, placing a ward, which is part of what your job is as a support. And Ashe gets another kill. They are stacking all the kills on Ashe. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's a really good idea, because Ashe is really farm dependent and item dependent, and by giving her all of the the farm, she can get a lot of items. And with 5 kills, that's around 1500 gold. Yeah, you can get a lot of items. And we already see a BF sword here. It probably has been there for a while, because she hasn't come back in a few minutes. And other big items, well, not yet, I guess. No, Wriggler's Lantern on Irelia, which has been nerfed, of course. It no longer has the life gain on the 500 extra damage, which is a lot fairer than it used to be. So we're going to see a kill here, because this guy isn't going anywhere. Yeah, a little miscommunication, or rather there was no communication there. Both of the ultimates going off on one person. It's a little bit of waste. And Taric can actually keep this Ashe alive, and Ashe wisely running out. Yeah, I don't know why she came back in. It's really, really risky to do that. And yeah, there I said she wisely runs out and then she comes back in. She was probably assuming that she could actually get a volley off or something, but yeah, really